Before the eagerly awaited Resident Evil 2 hit PlayStations and CRT screens everywhere way back in 1998, fans were treated to an early look at Resident Evil 2 if they purchased Resident Evil Director's Cut, which came with a special demo of Resident Evil 2. It's believed that the release of Resident Evil Director's Cut with the demo of the sequel was Capcom apologising for the delayed release of Resident Evil 2, which originally had a planned release for early 1997, but despite being close to completion, was sent back to the drawing board. This version of the highly anticipated sequel would later be known as Resident Evil 1.5. Today, we're comparing that particular Resident Evil 2 demo with the final PAL release to see what could have potentially been the Resident Evil 2 we know and love today. We start things off with the main menu of the demo, where it says Resident Evil 2 Preview, and press any button. Once we do that, there are only two options, New Game and Sound. Pressing New Game will play the iconic Resident Evil 2 sound,
Resident Evil 2,
and take us directly into the start of the gameplay within the demo. In the final game, there is Load Game, New Game, and Options. If we press New Game, it will then present us with the options Normal or Easy. Selecting either of those options will play the Resident Evil 2 sound and take us into the game.
Resident Evil 2.
If we look at the main menu screens, we can see on the preview there is a slightly different eye compared to the full release. This eye appears to be more lizard-like. It kind of reminds me of the infamous hunters we encounter in Resident Evil 1. Whereas the eye we see in the full release, we later learn is the eye on William Birkin's shoulder after he's mutated. Sorry, spoilers.
Resident Evil 2.
At the start of the demo, we can see the introduction is very different to what we got in the full release. Here it's a brief reminder of Resident Evil 1 being typed out on a typewriter before fading into the gameplay. If you listen closely, you can hear the flames from the crashed tanker that we later see in the full release.
Resident Evil 2.
In the full release, we are treated to a cutscene with different music, and we have Ben Bertolucci narrating a small recap of Resident Evil 1.
A bizarre incident occurred in the outskirts of an American suburb called Raccoon City.
For me, this also serves as some background for Ben, as we later find out he's a freelance journalist looking into the murders that took place in the Arklay Mountains, which ultimately led him to Raccoon City and investigating Chief Irons and Umbrella, which is all explained by Ben when we meet him in the RPD cells. It gives a sense of Ben is somewhere either in Raccoon City or before he comes to the town, typing up his investigation so far.
Special STARS unit immediately began investigation into the affair. The case was apparently closed, thanks to the efforts of STARS members Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine. But the Umbrella Corporation's experiments were far from finished.
After this, we are then greeted with another cutscene, this time of Leon entering Raccoon City for his first day with the RPD. Leon then stops on what seems to be a main road or street to investigate a body that is laying in the middle of the road.
What have we got here?
Cut to a petrol station, or gas station if you will, and we witness a zombie being thrown out of a window. And a truck driver wondering why he was bit.
Why'd he bite me? Man, what a mess. What could have done this?
We go back to Leon, who has started work early, but is quickly surrounded by zombies. He tries to fire a few shots, but has no luck despite the clean hits.
All right, that's far enough. Don't move! Don't move! No! What's up with that guy? That was a clean hit. I'm running out of ammo here.
Retreating into an alleyway, he
Wait,
meets Claire
don't
Redfield.
shoot!
Down! We can't stay out here. Head to the police station. It'll be a lot safer. There! Buckle up.
Okay.
They're able to get an RPD cruiser, but the car itself has a stowaway zombie, which I think kinda looks like a Leon
What's
clone.
going on? I arrived in town, and the whole place went
Great!
insane.
The radio's out.
You're a cop, right?
Yeah, first day on the job. Great, huh? Name's Leon Kennedy. Nice to meet you.
Mine's Claire. Claire Redfield. I came to find my brother, Chris.
Hey, could you open the glove box?
Sure. There's a gun inside.
Better take it with you.
Look out!
You okay?
Still in one piece.
Maniac's gonna ram us! Run!
Unfortunately, the car was destroyed when a gasoline tanker, now with the zombie truck driver at the wheel, collided with it,
Head to the
and the
station.
two were
I'll meet you
separated,
there.
forced to travel to the police station independently. After the intro, both versions of the game start in the same spot, just in front of the exploded tanker with a couple of zombies within the flames. One thing I noticed in the full release, there is no auto aim, as you'll see me testing, whereas in the demo there is. The PAL releases of Resident Evil 2 did not include auto aim unless you selected the controller scheme C, which given how much I've played Resident Evil 2, I only learnt recently. But overall for this area there isn't much difference until we reach Kendo's shop. Once we get to Kendo's shop, there is one difference: a light above the entrance of the shop, which brightens the area a little.
Freeze!
Once in Kendo's gun shop, the first difference we, well, hear is Robert Kendo. He sounds slightly more high-pitched compared to the full release of the game.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Hold your fire! I'm a human!
Sorry about that. I thought you were one of them.
What's going on in this town?
Hold on. I don't have a clue. By the time I noticed something was wrong, the entire city was infested with zombies. Freeze! Who are you? What are you doing here?
Hold your fire! I'm a human!
Sorry about that. I thought you were one of them.
What's going on in this town?
Hold on. I don't have a clue. By the time I noticed something was wrong, the entire city was infested with zombies.
The gun shop itself is also different in the demo. To begin with, there is no broken glass on the floor compared to the final release. There are some extra items in the demo too. First aid spray and a typewriter with an ink ribbon beside it, but saving isn't available in the demo. These items are removed in the final release, and it is only 2 boxes of handgun ammo, one in the gun cabinet and another where the typewriter would be. Another thing to notice is the inventory screen. In the demo, we get a handgun, knife, and a first aid spray. Leon's image is different. He looks younger in this image with lighter hair, whereas in the final release, we only get a handgun and a knife. Leon's image in the final release, he has darker hair and looks more like an ID photo for the RPD. In the demo, Kendo sadly still gets attacked by a horde of zombies, busting through the window. But this time, he doesn't fire a shot at them. He does still have the shotgun on him though, that's if you decide to take out the zombies. Leaving Kendo's gun shop in both versions of the game leads to the same alleyway. Another difference is the graffiti on the basketball court wall. The demo shows smaller graffiti, whereas the final game shows a much larger design on the wall. In the demo, there appears to be more zombies in the basketball court. After the basketball court, it's still the same alleyway, but with one change. Kendo's van isn't in the demo, but instead there's a climbable bin to take us to the next area. Whereas in the full game, once we get close enough, or sometimes directly to Kendo's van, depending on how the game is feeling that day, the gate to the basketball court will swing open, allowing the zombies to come after you. Once the zombies are taken care of, we can go through the basketball court towards the RPD, on which is a much longer route full of dangers compared to the demo. In the demo, once we've hopped over the bin, we appear to be on the other side of the bus that we travel through in the full game, and already directly outside the RPD after facing far fewer zombies on the way. Admittedly, I didn't check to see if there was a herb in the bushes to the side of the main entrance, but apparently there is not in the demo. I'm also unsure if Brad Vickers appears in the underpass like he does in the full game, if you don't pick up any items on the way to the RPD. Feel free to let me know in the comments if he does in the demo or not. Overall, the main hall of the RPD in the demo is the same layout as the full release. I wasn't able to enter the door directly to the left of the main entrance to the RPD, but it also didn't say it was electronically locked. The next door I tried also didn't say it was electronically locked, but this time it said it's locked. The letter P is etched beneath the keyhole. Next up is the water fountain, where you normally place the unicorn medal to receive the spade key, but it just says an old fountain, it's bone dry. In the full game, when you interact with the fountain, it will say, an old fountain, something is written here. To obtain the key to open your heart, I'll wait for the unicorn, the beautiful beast. Whilst checking the computer, there is no handgun ammo on the desk, but this time it's on the table within that reception area to the right of the typewriter. Going to the computer, which doesn't operate in the demo, offers a new camera angle, which I really like to be honest, gives us a chance to have a look at Leon in his RPD uniform. Let's go see our old mate Marvin. Oh wait, he isn't here. But we do get the shotgun in the cabinet. On Leon's desk there are handgun bullets instead of a note welcoming Leon to the RPD. The next item we pick up is the P key, which I guess means precinct. I should have checked, but this is instead of the heart key. Using the P key brings us to the next area of the demo. As we can see, there is no item box here, or a note on the chair, and the small desk is locked, but there are no small keys in the demo. The body on the ground here doesn't have hidden handgun bullets, and the next door is locked, needing the L key, which if I was to guess means letters. Maybe. I don't know. We don't get the terrifying liquor FMV here in the demo, like we do in the full release. And there's no green herb on the right either in the demo. The briefing room has this really eerie music to it, which I don't think we hear anywhere in the full release. Maybe in the underground? Correct me if I'm wrong though in the comments. But I really like the music, and it carries on throughout the rest of the demo from here. There are fewer zombies in this corridor compared to the full release, and the door after Misty is needing the S key, and taking a wild stab in the dark, could it mean safety due to it being the evidence room? Also, there are no green herbs before the save room. The save room is pretty much the same, with that iconic music. There are no hidden handgun bullets in the cabinets, and I'm unable to access a special costume cabinet in the demo. I decided to have a gander at the inventory box and found there were handgun bullets and a first aid spray. This puzzle is the same as the full release, other than there are no hidden bullets behind the statue, and we actually find out in a bit that getting these jewels in the demo is pointless. this corridor, there is only 2 zombies compared to the 3 in the full release, and the door at the end is needing the L key. The STARS office is pretty much the same layout wise. I didn't check Wesker's desk 50 times to see if he had that one picture. You all know the one. From what I can tell, Chris's diary is pretty much the same, except for the dates. But there is no unicorn medal hidden underneath. Also, there is no shotgun in the gun cabinet. As soon as I pick up the L key, I am greeted by Ada, who we normally meet in the car park of the RPD. This then causes the demo to fade out to the end. Have you played the preview disc? What did you think of it? Were there some elements you wish you saw in the full release of Resident Evil 2? If so, what? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's very different to my usual gameplay videos. Would you want to see more stuff like this? I may have another video like this coming soon.